to my channel. Thank you for joining my live. We're in the kitchen right now. I'm just hanging out. I'm making some bao buns, I think. Let's see what we got going on. Tonight I'm just doing a Q&A, just hanging out. I got pork soup dumplings going on tonight. It's from Good and Gather. It's a Target product. I got it steaming in the basket. And it takes about 10 minutes to prepare, I think. And it's been in my freezer for a little bit. My freezer is actually starting to wind down a little bit. I got some space in here. Just let me show you quickly. So normally I have it packed to the gills, but yeah, I've just been kind of like utilizing whatever I have in the kitchen and getting it ready for, preparing the meals and getting ready as to what I'm going to be preparing tomorrow. I have some steaks, chops, and chicken. Probably going to do a chicken pasta for Tuesday. So the way it goes is I do work I'm semi-retired. I work part-time for Target store, and I work 4 on and I have 3 off is my days. And I kind of designed it that way because I really don't want to overwhelm, and I really don't want to work full time. So I put in about 25, 26, 27 hours a week. And it works out for me. It pays the bills. It's tight sometimes. I have to admit that. It is tight. Having a YouTube channel and being monetized has helped a little, but it's not always consistent. So, it's just important to enjoy the process. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and thank you for, being here. I appreciate you. And, my water's boiling right now. So if you know me, I have this really tiny, tiny kitchen. It's an L-shaped, and that's basically it. It's just enough to prep meals and have dinner ready. Isn't it crazy how everything is happening all the time right now? Wait, hey, okay, well, welcome to the show. Hi, Elena Marie. Thank you. Welcome. You guys are a feisty group. I'm going to tell you that much. So yeah, I have my little bao buns going. Check it out. And it's pork, so hopefully it's good. Just having a little snack tonight. Thank you for the like. I appreciate it. What's cooking? Hey, when will we change? I'm going to show you right now. Yeah. I have a couple of things. I'm doing pork soup dumplings. This is by Good and Gather. Hi, Rapunzel. Thank you. This has dumplings with scallions, onions, and seasoned with grilled. It's by Target. Thank you for the likes. Thank you so much. And then I'm going to do pork bao buns, like so. Check that out. And I'm also going to put it in the steamer right here. Right now I have the dumplings going on. Let me show you once again. Somebody's behind you. Yes, that somebody happened to have been my husband. There we are. Hi, Tagan. And yes, thank you for saying Auntie Lisa. I appreciate you. Can you say hi? Hi, Noah. Very nice to see you. Just answering questions. I thought we might have just ask a question, I'll answer, make sure everything is, is on the right track, and just have a little Q&A. I appreciate you subscribing to my channel. Isn't it Manti? Oh, okay, that's cool. I can take it. It's not a problem. In my days, I don't take anything personal. So, but yeah, let me know if there's anything you want to know about me. Hi, Alana Rosario. Thank you for joining. Great, I got 42 people in my live tonight. What are you cooking, Mrs. Chef? No, I'm cooking. Right now, I'm cooking pork dumplings by Good and Gather. It's a Target brand. Hi, Carlos Navarro. Welcome to my live. and I hope it's good. It's been in my freezer for a little bit. Like I said, my freezer's pretty, it's getting pretty thin. Auntie Lisa, yes, exactly. So, I have a few sausages in here, but normally it's packed to the gills. Right now, I just am been kind of like cooking up a lot of the things, and I'm a little bit of a prepper. I don't know if you know about me. Hi, Ella. Welcome to the live. I'm a little bit of a prepper. For the past few years, I've been really big on prepping. I have, in case anything were to happen, I really have been prepared to make sure that we have everything that we need, including the energy that we need to survive here. And oh, thank you. Thank you for letting me know that they're good. I appreciate it. I am not in Louisiana, Noah. If you are, let me know. Have I ever been to Louisiana, Lance? I went, okay, yeah, and I have visited Louisiana. We went to French Quarter. Oh, congratulations. We visited French Quarter, and we went on a beignet crawl, and it was really good. Now, if you're anybody like me, hello, Boss Vic TV official. If you're anything like me, and you are a Disney person, you probably had the Disneyland beignets. Um, they're okay. I was really surprised how special and how delicious the beignets are in Louisiana. And we had various different types of makers of beignets. If you're one of the making it, I'm sure it will be amazing. Thank you very much, Taken. I'm a prepper too. I have an extra girlfriend. Okay. Yes, those are good. Thank you, Noah. Yeah, definitely. I'm a prepper, and I have a few things stored aside. And finally, I'm gonna share something with you. I'm a prepper because of a lot of the stuff that's happened these past few years. However, do we need to prep anymore? Do we really need to prep anymore? Leave me a comment. Put a 1 in the comments if you think that we're in a situation where we really do need to prep. Because I'm starting to think that things are starting to die down just a little bit, right? Hello. Thank you, Freddie. Exactly. I used to keep like the ton of water every day. Hello, I love you, your content. I love your energy. You've taught me to stay positive. Thank you, Josh. And shoot for the stars. Keep it up. And remember, I always be here to support you. Have an incredible day. Thank you very much, Josh Story. Appreciate it. No one wants to know how's your day. I worked today. I worked a half-day shift at Target. And then after that, I came home. And I was sitting on the couch watching, who was I watching today? Oh, there's this gal that I love to watch on YouTube. And she lives in Utah, and she always shares how to eat on a budget for her and her family. And I don't know if you ever saw it, but she shops at the Walmart, and she buys like a lot of canned goods, frozen vegetables, and she'll like literally take $45 and stretch that $45 out for the entire month, and show you all these great, budget recipes. So I was watching her, and the next thing you know, it's like 45 minutes later, I took a nap. And I didn't realize I was sitting on the couch like this, just taking a nap. What are you waiting for? What's the content? What are you waiting for? What's the content? Q&A. Ask me a question, Tugan. Frank Black says, can hear you. And then Noah says, haha. And then Fang says, how are you? I really like your shirt and your glasses. Thank you very much. This is a Target shirt, a t-shirt, and the glasses, I've had these for a few years. Appreciate the compliment, guys. Yeah, so, I'm just here in my kitchen with you guys. If you have a question. I was at Disney. Noah, when were you at Disney? Hi, good morning, funny videos. Good morning. I take it you're probably coming from the other side of the hemisphere. Sammy Niatzi says hi. What should I do? Just chatting or watching live stream, Auntie Lisa? Just chatting. I'm not trying to sell you anything tonight. I just thought I'd hang out and, just enjoy meal. I may go to the office in a little bit and maybe we could have another chat. I got my studio all set up there. I'll probably share my studio with you. How about that? And show you what that's like. You went to Disney. Now, did you go to Disneyland or did you go to Disney World a month ago, Noah? Because I used to be a annual pass holder. That's what it used to be called. Annual pass holder at Disneyland. I was an annual pass holder for many years when you used to be able to get the bougie pass for like $200. And now, and you didn't have to use your phone to go everywhere at Disney. Everybody used now it's all about using the app. And Disney work, I went to Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Magic Kingdom. Yep, I've been there several times. It's very nice. It's really big. Now, I am a Disneyland person because I do live in Southern California. Yeah, it used to be like $200. You would get parking. You would get no blackout dates. And everything was like all-inclusive. It was great. Now, everything is probably about, what, $1,400, $1,500 now. And you do get half of the month of December blacked out if you get the bougie pass. Ooh, wow, look at these bao buns. They really opened up. Check it out. They were frozen and they were so tiny. And look how big they got. Oh, that looks delicious. So I'm just going to let that settle for a little bit. Let it sit in there and warm up. Anyway, and then of course the situation happened and everybody's basically started anew, and then they went into the Magic Key. And I'll tell you, it hasn't been the same. I've had some complaints, and I have shared my opinions here on YouTube and also on TikTok. I think a lot of the things that changed over the years was the app. When they started using and encouraging you to use the app. All the money went to Disneyland? Not really. I mean, okay, that's not going to happen. All the money, thank you for the likes and the hearts. All the money went to Disneyland? No, not all the money went to Disneyland. If you have, we did also try some of the locals pass, which was at a discount, and it was much cheaper. But for some reason, you just get used to that annual pass at that bougie price. Oh, honey, so sad you came down to the Moon Hair Salon and I die for free. Okay. I don't probably live near there. Anyway, so since the use of the app, I just find that it's not as personable as it used to be. And I really enjoy, like, oftentimes I'll go to Disneyland. We went to Disneyland for Chinese New Year. Now, I could have turned on my camera and shared the experience, but there's just something about going to Disneyland that is so personal that I don't turn my camera on. I want to enjoy the moment. Don't forget to wipe correctly. Okay. There's a lot of trolls here today. You know what we're going to do? We are going to remove some of these messages. How about that? Yeah, trolls are good, but they're bored. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on. If you guys want to talk about Disney, let's talk about it, okay? And what's my favorite thing to cook? I'm a steaks person, and I like to grill. So I enjoy cooking steak and pommes frites. I also, baking is another thing. I'm not the baker in the family. My husband is. But I do enjoy grilling. And one of my favorite things is steak and frites, which is, steak and fries is one of my favorite things to cook. And I do love lamb. And, I made lamb chop the other night. Baby lamb chop. Oh, my God. It was to die for. It was killer. And I had it with a Pinot Noir and mashed potatoes. And I set it up all nice and fancy. I also gave it a rub. Basically, I think I gave it like a real nice Mediterranean rub by Andrew Zimmern. And then let me show you the rub I used on it. Andrew Zimmern. It was, I think I have it right here. Here it is. Let's see, I have a private reserve here. And Andrew Zimmern rub is, now I can't find it. It's here somewhere. It'll pop up before you know it. It's not important anymore. The meal was great. Oh, here it is. Is this it? Italian seasoning. I use very, very basic seasonings when I cook. What I do is Italian seasoning. This is from Walmart. Very, very basic. I do have a dry rub for my steaks. Yes, Jojo. I know. Don't forget I'm middle-aged. Here it is, citrus. It's a citrus Mediterranean. Okay. Have an incredible day. I'm taking care of Nick right now. Nick, you're bothering me. And I can do that. Okay? I just want to let you know. Nick's going to be removed because Nick doesn't know how to mind his manners. Yeah, you think there's a lot of chemicals in here? You might have a good point here. This is a Mediterranean style by Andrew Zimmern. And then I have Omaha Steaks Private Reserve. Keep it really light. Don't go crazy on that. Okay, Nick. I know you're still here, but you know what? It's all good. Okay. Let's see what's going on, Nick. There you go. Nick likes hanging out and he loves to mess with me. There you go. He's silly. Food is the best. There's no point in thinking too much about it. We all will someday. I know. Blue Flare. Nick, you remind me of a very... Nick? Maybe Nick is a friend of mine coming across as Nick, but it's somebody else who just loves to make fun. You may need a moderator. Yeah, I probably will. I'm still here. Can you not figure it out? And you know what, Nick? Let's figure you out. Let's go. There you go, Nick. You've been timed out. I'll be glad to be your mod. I appreciate it, Blue Flare. Why do trolls bother you so much? I don't know. I don't care. They just whatever. I'm on the whatever scale of life, you know. They just do. They think they're funny. And you know what? The hard part about it is I just don't really care about them. I'm subscribed to everything I promise. Thank you very much, Blue Fair. Oh, thank you so much. And so I have that, and then I just have very, very basic. Did you report him? Yes, I did. I gave him a timeout. How about that? Okay? He gets a timeout. He's going to go somewhere else. And then I have a little bit of just basic, you know, garlic powder, garlic salt, salt and pepper. So my lamb was beautiful. It worked out really good. Normally I I season the lamb and then I char it and I do it as an entire rack. But then I take the rack and put it in the oven for a little bit. But this time I tried something different. So I just got olive oil, put my seasonings in with some garlic, and then salt and pepper. He got a timeout for a while. And I think I gave him like a day. And then so salt and pepper, and then I cut it, each slice, and then I grilled each slice. So it turned out really nice. What kind of beer do you like, and what is a good burger? All right, let's talk about burgers now. We like Kobe burgers, and the beer that I like is, you guys know 805? 805 is up in Ventura, and it's called 805. It's really good. You're funny. I like you. Thank you. You're just kidding. You're 13. Okay, Blue Flare. Hi, Friendly Fairy. Welcome to the live. I'm just hanging out. I just finished my bao buns, so let's try them out. You buy all the spices just because you're different, right, without knowing how much of their contents. That's a good point. Well, I'll check out and see what the contents are. How about that? And then we'll go from there. I got this. I went to Omaha Steaks and I bought, you know how you get that coupon in the mail, or you get the coupon online, or whatever. You get it in the newspaper, right? If anybody even reads the newspaper anymore. Well, we went to Omaha Steaks. We bought a packet. We bought one of those specials, like you get all kinds of stuff for $99. And part of the deal was they gave us this private reserve dry rub, and we just use it. Heck, it came free, right? What's my retirement / savings advice? You know what? Since I lost everything in the crash and started up again. I'm sorry, Lance, what? Oh, yeah. Lance doesn't give financial advice. But pay yourself learn to pay yourself first and put the money away. Right, Lance? Lance did very well. He always makes sure that he pays himself first, and then he invests that money and sets it aside. He does really good. I think the great thing is about nice surprises a lot of people don't know. What crash? The crash of 2008, when the bank crash happened. It really affected my business. The economy got really bad. I handled imports from all over the world here in LAX. And what happened was my business really was focusing on one thing. I had a niche, and it was all imports. And what happened is that when the crash happened, the imports started to really die down because people couldn't afford to buy. So the luxuries, and my business got really affected. And I just remember looking at the money and saying, you know what, we're not going to make it. And when all that happened, hi Ava, hi Bob, welcome. I had to close the business. I had to get a job. And there was a lot of stress at home, and my husband didn't want to be married anymore. And so he decided to divorce me, and I really couldn't make it. Oh, and then when I got a job, I got a 20% pay cut because everybody was really, really, tightening up. And that 20% pay cut really, really hurt me. And I'm gonna share how we bought the house. So I met Lance, and we ended up getting married because we loved each other very much. Hi, Penji. And so Lance's his father figure told him said, Lance, you've been working really hard all these years. He said, why don't you just buy a house? So Lance made some very good choices, and you bought stock in Amazon, right? He had some Amazon stock. And when the stock split, thank you very much. She said, Penny says a very inspiring story. When the stock split, he had enough money for a down payment. Now, I lost my home, I think in 2012, 2013. We bought this house in 2018. And because I had waited so long. Lance and I became what is known as first-time home buyers here in the United States. And we had very good credit. And it was so funny, I got to tell you. I remember telling Lance, because we were looking for a house and we had the down payment because he, cashed out on those stocks. And this was just a down payment. We didn't have enough money to buy a whole house, but to buy outright. And I remember telling him, thinking back about decisions I had made in the past, like my ex-husband and I were all about buy location, location, location. And I said, you know what? Buy cheap, buy cheap, buy cheap. I don't want to be house poor. Buy as cheap as we can. And we literally shopped for houses everywhere in Los Angeles. We went to Long Beach, we went to Compton, we went to Los Angeles area, and homes at the time were really expensive, but we told our agent we wanted to buy cheap, 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 cheap. So one of the areas that we were looking at was we looked at North Long Beach, and the homes were really cheap in North Long Beach. And we looked here in the Alamitos area of Long Beach, and we said that we wanted to buy cheap. So she really didn't have a lot of options. So the houses we were looking at, I'll tell you something. These houses were shot out. Yeah, Lance is saying they were shot out. We would go to these fixer-uppers, and they weren't even fixer-uppers. There was like literally a tear down, and the way fixer-uppers would do it is they would like tear down everything except the main wall. And then like we would visit these houses, and it was like you felt like you were going to fall through the floor. And I was starting to get a little disillusioned. Well, God answered our prayers, and this little tiny bungalow, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. I think the house was like maybe 600 square feet, and it was priced at Long Beach, California, 2018. It was priced at $375,000. You don't get a house in California, especially Southern California, 3 miles away from the water, at $375,000. So Lance goes, I want it, I want it, I want it. So we put a bid up for the house. Well, it ended up being right. Well, I got to tell you, it ended up being a competition between us and a gal and her mom. And the owner was trying to decide which person to give the house to. And we had to write a letter introducing who we were. And it came down to one night where our agent contacted us, and she said, I'm so sorry, but they decided to go with the young gal and her mom, because the young gal is a resident of Long Beach, and she's a teacher. So they went with her. Lance was a little butthurt, I have to admit, and he was a little disillusioned. He was a little upset, and he felt really bad, right? Like he had lost something that he had put his heart into. So, we decided we're going to continue to pursue to look for a home. And yes, we ended up visiting a lot of fixer-uppers, tear-downs. Oh, like they were telling us, oh, check it out. We had this one woman. We went to go look at a house. We walked into the house. I was all excited because I'm like, oh, it has a fireplace. Oh, I really want a fireplace because my old house had a fireplace. So we walked into the house, and there's this gal in there, and there's bunk beds in the living room, bunk beds in the hallway, and bunk beds everywhere. And she's cooking in the kitchen, and my husband goes, what's that big like patch on the wall? It was like a huge patch, and you couldn't miss it, and it extended out into the kitchen. And the gal goes, oh, there was a leak and a pipe broke. So the landlord fixed the patch, and the landlord like literally just fixed the patch. If you guys can hear me, there's audio. Oh, thank you. So the landlord just like fixed the patch. And I'm walking around the house and I'm thinking, I tell Lance, I said, this house has potential. And Lance goes, no, it doesn't. He said, go out into the garage. And guys, we walked out into the garage and you could see light through the rooftop. And the agent says, well, they're saying there's no audio. Can you hear me? No audio, muted, bruh, unmute yourself. And anyway, Lisa, I think these guys are spammers. Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much for letting me know. Here, let's do this. Ryan, you're going to get a timeout. Ay, ay, ay. Bye, Ryan. I love you, but, have a good one. Anyway, so the the real estate agent, and the seller of the house says to us, yeah, you guys aren't going to qualify for an FHA on this house. She says, it's not going to make it. It's just way too many repairs. This is the owner of the house. And she says, I have 10 more if you want to look at. Like, she had a plethora of homes that she says, we're just dumping all these houses. We need to get rid of them for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe she got tired of maintenance. And she says, I have 10 more. You want to take a look? And so we said, okay, we'll look at one more. We went over to the next house. It was worse than the other house we looked at. So we were like losing faith. And one day, Lance and I once again are looking at the houses that are available online, and he sees this house. And he's like, that house looks really familiar. What is that house? Turns out it's the house that's next door to the house that we lost. Somebody next door to the house that just sold, he decided he was going to sell his house. Now, he had a very incentive price attached to it, and it's a really cute layout. It's also a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. It's really cute, and he says, because he was transferred to San Francisco. He was a port worker and like a shoreman. And he got transferred to San Francisco and he had to get out. So he put the house up for sale and he put it at a price of, I think it was like another house selling it for $375. Well, Lance really thought it was cute, and it's right next door to the house that we did want. And he was like, tell the agent we want this house. We're going to do whatever it takes. No. He made an offer that the guy could not refuse.
I said, you have 24 hours.
He gave him
$10,000 over what you're asking. If you don't want it, let me know and I'll walk away.
So Lance offered $10K over, gave him 24 hours, and he took the offer. And the agent said she still wanted to show the house on a she still wanted to continue to show the house on an open house, because she wanted to see if anybody would be interested in taking her on as an agent. So she showed the house, but as people were coming up, she's like, I'm sorry, the owner already took an offer on the house. It's not available anymore. But if you'd like to go ahead and take a look at it, go ahead. But it's a tiny, tiny house. I mean, guys, the total lot literally is like a 1,200 square foot lot. That's tiny. That's like nothing. But it's 100 years old this year, and I've never lived in a 100-year-old house. I grew up in Southern California. I always lived in the mid-century houses, stuff that was built in the 60s. As a matter of fact, that's the beautiful home that I bought in Huntington Beach. That was a mid-century home. Really pretty. Beautiful private school down the street. Wide streets. Neighbors, always just like kept to themselves and everything. But it was a mid-century home and it was really pretty. And however, it wasn't as close to the water as this house is. Now, I know Huntington Beach and Long Beach beaches are very different, but we love it here. I mean, there's a lot of fantastic restaurants that we go to downtown. Um, there's a lot of activities. We have the Queen Mary that we go to. So there's also really nice microbreweries all around. And, we have Signal Hill, and there's some really nice restaurants there. And I like to eat, as you know, can you tell? And it's like we don't really have to go far to find a really nice place for a special occasion. Um, all of our neighbors are very nice. When we moved here, we literally had neighbors knocking on our door introducing themselves to us. And it took us by surprise because it's not something that it took me by surprise because it wasn't something that I experienced when I was living in Huntington Beach. I was there, Huntington Beach, for I would say 15 years, and we barely knew some of our neighbors. Rarely ever spoke to one another. But when we came and moved into this house, this tiny little house, um, we had our neighbors knocking on our door, introducing themselves. And we all look out for one another. A lot of the neighbors know each other. For 4th of July, we hang out, and we go out. I mean, we've had evenings out together, and it's really nice. We watch over everybody's houses when they're not around just to make sure everything is good. And it's regardless of they told us there's a high crime rate in this area, but we haven't really experienced anything crazy at all. And it's been great. We have a parking space, and we have a parking space in front of the house. So we have a garage, a detached garage. And like I said, the house is 100 years old this year. We're probably not going to make the preservation list, but that's okay. And basically take it from there. Let me check and see my what community do I live in. I'm in Long Beach, and we live near the water. And it's really cute. Look at the dogs. The door just opened. The cat just went outside. And I'll tell you one thing, though. Long Beach gets really hot in the summer, man. I'm telling you. It's as though there's a lot of oil that gets drilled here in Long Beach. They still drill for oil. And so we feel sometimes like we're living on top of oil fields because it gets so hot. Can I edge to this? I do not have a toaster, honey. This is fake. She is AI. Really? You think I'm AI? Okay. Somebody says they think I'm AI. Hey, it's all good. We're all AI. We're all living in an illusion. You want me to go there? We're going to go there. I'll tell you one thing. I separated from the hive in 2012. If you really want to know me, I do not watch regular television. I turned off the TV in 2012, and I never looked back. And I was a TV addict. I used to watch Bravo, all the shows on Bravo, all the competition shows, all of the housewives. I used to listen to the news every single day. I used to have the news piped into my phone. I would get up and I would know I would assume I was knowing what was going on around the world. And I was very informed. And part of the way that I handled my personal economic issue at home, stop the yapping, ask some questions. Goat, ask me some questions. And so one way that I was able to handle the home economics was I cut off the television and everything that went into it. And I thought that I was going to be jonesing for not having TV, and it wasn't that problem at all. I just completely turned off the TV, and I never went back. Goat says yap, yap, yap. And
That's probably your fault.
here we go. Hey, Goat, I love you, but you have an incredible night. There you go. Hi, Noah. Welcome back. So yeah, that was something that happened to me, and it's been life-changing since I turned off the television. I do watch a lot of YouTube and creators on YouTube. One of the first persons I started watching, I don't know if you guys watch nomads, people who live in their van. And when I met Lance, I was really into watching a lot of the nomads. Camper Van Kevin. Who's the other guy that I like to watch with the cats? And do you believe in simulation theory? Aren't you too young to have this app? No, I appreciate the compliment, and I'm at the perfect age to have this app. Do you believe in simulation theory? Well, I would love some insight on that. I do believe that we're probably sometimes, when you turn off certain things like the television, you start living in another timeline, or you start looking at the world differently. I remember when I would go to work, and people vibrate at different levels. Yeah, I live in the United States. People vibrate at different levels based on the information that they're being fed. So imagine working in a high intense office, importer exporters, dealing with international trade, and basically you don't really know what's going on in the world, and people are talking about current events, and you don't know what they're talking about because you're not living in it, but they are. They choose to live in it, and they're getting absorbed emotionally by all sorts of things, and you're just living your life differently, looking at life differently. And I remember one time, I guess there was some tension going on in other countries, especially in the Middle East, and I remember somebody asking me about it, and I said, I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Hi, Mr. Maintenance Man Plumber, welcome. Welcome to the live. And I remember telling him I didn't know anything that was going on, and he was like, oh no, Lisa, you have to know. He goes, you have to. I said, no, I don't. I'm perfectly fine not knowing what's going on overseas, in the Middle East. I'm doing great. As a matter of fact, I couldn't be even more happier with my life. You got to take care of your house and what's going on in your life before you start taking care for anybody else. Hi, Nun Sang Yaden. Hello, Auntie. How are you? I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Delano Petrilli says, you're looking for a grandson? I have a grandnephew, and I treat him like my grandson. I don't have any grandkids because I never had kids. But I have a nephew, and I love him very much. And I have a great-grandniece. No, I have a nephew, and I have a grandniece. That's what I should say. Hey, Lance, you want to try these bao buns?
No.
Okay. I'm going to try this and see. You're from Northeast India. Welcome. Thank you for joining. I don't know if these are going to be any good, but we're going to try it. We went to a restaurant not too long ago for Chinese New Year called Din Tai Fung. And it was at Downtown Disney, and it was okay. Everybody talks about how great the food is. You look at those creators online, and they go, oh, the food's so great here. So Lance and I said, we're going to try it. It was not that great. It's good. It has a nice teriyaki flavor to it. It's actually better than the stuff we had at Din Tai Fung. The bun is a little pasty. I think it may be steamed for too long, but it's not bad. It's a great way to kill your hunger, I'll tell you that much. So these are pork dumplings from Target. Oh, well, you should televise on YouTube your festival, Nung Sang, and we'll check it out. Okay? That's a great thing about YouTube, is that we can partake in other people's lives. So, but yeah, I don't have any grandkids, or any kids, I should say. So, well, listen, I want to tell you guys. I know the audio. Well, good luck with that. But listen, I want to say thank you very much for joining my live. I really appreciate you being here and partaking. I just thought I'd hang out for tonight and then take it from there. My next live will probably have a topic, and we will most likely be discussing some things. We'll never know, probably taking action and where we are in life. So basically, that's it for this evening. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys have a great night, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Oh yeah, I have a video coming out tomorrow, by the way. So you take care now. Bye.